Hi everyone, Leanne here from Jaded Blossom, and it is time for the Gnome Dyes Medical Add Ons assembly video. Hey, so I'm using the brand new Gnome Dyes Medical Add Ons, and I'll be using the Girl Gnome Dyes and the Boy Gnome Dyes. Now, all these others are optional. The Gnome Dyes Leg Add-ons, this Gnome Dyes Extra Parts Add-ons 1 and 2, just handy if you're making a lot of gnomes. I used this set, the Gnome Dyes Tool Add-ons for the short beard. I'm just pointing it out there. And the Gnome Dyes Hair Hat-ons, just for some, just for some variety. I'm using Doodlebug's Dot Grid Daisy Stripe, their Candy Stripe and Sprinkles, their Gingham Linen, and their brand new Happy Healing 6-inch pad, along with scrapbook.com holographic paper or mirror paper. Now this is the Girl Gnome, and she was cut out of just black scrap cardstock, I believe American Crafts. And I'm using some Barely Art glue, and you saw that I had to do some gnome surgery. So I'm going to add on this little scrub top, and I cut that from paper from that Happy Healing 6-inch pad. Then this is Paper Tray Ink white cardstock. So this is the lab coat, and I'm adding it over top. Everything lines up. And you can see where everything goes. There's little stitching lines for details, but also for, assembly to show you where things go. So there we go. Just making sure it's lined up. There we are. So we're going to make a girl doctor. And I'll make a boy doctor, a girl nurse, and a boy nurse. Okay, so I'm adding on the lapels. Same thing, Paper Tray Ink white cardstock. And the pockets, all using that reverse tweezers. You'll see that they're both slanted in the direction that matches the bottom of the coat. So keep that in mind. There we go. And I do weight it down in between. Next, I'm going to add on the face. This is cut from P13 Stamping Pad Skin Tones. You can make your doctor gnomes and nurse gnomes any color of the rainbow that you'd like. Remember, the P13 Stamping Pad Skin Tones has a bunch of different skin colors. So you can, it makes things really easy. You can usually purchase that over at the Jaded Blossom site under Fun Extras. Next, I'm going to add on the hat that's cut out of that same paper from Happy Healing from Doodlebug, and I'm overlapping the face a little bit. There we go. And I do weight it down. Now I'm going to add the hair. This is Rust cardstock from American Crafts. So I'm just going to pop these down. And she's cute, isn't she? So fun. And then I'm going to add some dimensionals to the nose, but I do put that aside for a moment as I work on the headband for the doctor. That's for that little that little eye assessment thing. I don't even know what they're called now. I guess ophthalmologists wear them or can wear them to look in your eyes. At least the old ones did. Now I start with American Crafts black cardstock. Just, no one sees that, but just for the base. Then that there is Simon Says Stamp black glossy cardstock. And then I'm going to pop up this mirror cardstock from scrapbook.com's holographic mirror paper pad. And then in the center, I'm adding a little pure poppy cardstock from Paper Tray Ink. And that's it. And then I will add that to the hat. And there we go. That's the little eye examiner piece. And then I'm going to pop up the nose with that dimensionals, like I said. And there we go. And I did go ahead and cut out the arms. Now the arms, I just cut out a white cardstock, for the ones with the little hands and the layer of the sleeves. Now that just gives you a spot so you could sort of, know where to put your hands, especially if the item that you're holding shows, sometimes you just have the little hands behind the item, but if it doesn't make sense, you can add the arms and, line them up with the hands, if you know what I mean. You can see that on the end of the video. Okay, next I'm going to put together the little nursing shoes or doctor shoes in white. And I just cut those both out of Paper Tray Ink white cardstock. So the shoe from the front and then the little sole. There we go. And I cut the pants. That's from the Gnome Dyes Leg Add-ons. And I cut it out of that same paper from Doodlebug 6-inch healing pad. So it looks like the doctor's wearing scrubs underneath her lab coat. I'm just adding some score tape to the back just to make it easy for me to stick these legs down. So I'm just lining them up. and I'll put them underneath the lab coat. There we go. So she's a matchy doctor. And then I will add her shoes on. And then isn't that cute? She's got little shoes. They almost look like Doc Martens, but you know, those big orthopedic nursing shoes, right? And then you've got your little arms there, and you can put them where you want, depending on what they're holding. I'm going to add little white bows to her pigtails. That's that same Paper Trank white cardstock, because why not, right? Using my Studio Katia embellishment tool. And there we go. Embellishment wand. Okay, next I went ahead and I cut out the stethoscope out of that mirror cardstock from scrapbook.com and then out of Dot Stripe from Doodlebug. And what I'm doing is I want to make the tube of the stethoscope pink and then the little earbuds pink. So I'm just thinking, and I'm going to remove the little tube of the stethoscope, and I'm making that pink just for fun. There we go. And then I will add on the little auscultator there. And then this is the little Y piece that holds the tube to the earpieces. And then I'll add the little earbuds on it just for fun, just because I thought it would look more interesting that way. There we go. In my day, all stethoscopes were pretty much black. But now they come in a range of colors and it's lots of fun. Okay, so there we go. Isn't that cute? She can have a pretty pink stethoscope. Okay, so next I went ahead and I put the boy together. And with the boy, you're not going to bother with the body. But here you can see, you can have it with a long beard or the short beard. The short beard is from that Gnome Dies Tool Add-ons. So instead of using the silhouette, I'm just going to use a piece of paper, add some score tape, and I will build my gnome working from hat down. So I'm adding the hat first. It's Paper Trank white cardstock. Then I'm adding the short beard. That is from that Gnome Dies Tool Add-ons. It is American Crafts gray cardstock. And I did ink around the edges with some close to my heart white daisy ink. It's just white pigment ink. Next, I add the little lab coat. I'll stick the mustache down, overlapping the hat a bit. There we go. And then I will pop up the little nose. That's that same P13 stamping pad skin tones. So you can make these gnomes tall if you want to use the legs, or short and just use the little feet and put them in front of the coat if that's what you'd like. So I'm just removing that. There we go. And isn't he cute? And then we can add the little shoes to the bottom like that, right? Isn't that fun? Or we can add the legs and then add the shoes. Or you could have that beard and it would cover most of the coat though, unless you made that doctor super tall. Okay, next I'm putting together a couple of nurses. You'll see that I've got the nurse, the girl nurse, and I gave her a dress for fun. And I cut her hat out of Paper Trank white cardstock. I'm also giving the boy nurse one of these nurses' hats. Now, in reality, guy nurses don't wear hats. I know this because my son's a nurse. And when he graduated, he did not wear one of these hats. I think they should probably come up with like a baseball hat sort of situation so they could wear a hat as well, just for fun. But there we are. So now I'm going to overlap the girl hat. There we go, over the face. Remember, you start with the dress with the girls, the beard with the boys. There we go. And I do weight it down. You saw that I did some stamp surgery removing the hats. Next, I'm going to add on this layer piece. That is Paper Trank white cardstock as well. And I'll do that on both of these. All my die cutting today was done with my Anna Griffin Empress machine as per usual. Working on a Stampin' Up! Pad. You know, all the things. Okay, so I'm going to add the little cross on both hats. That was cut from Pure Poppy cardstock from Paper Trank again. That's my favorite red. There we go. So we got some fancy nursing hats. We used to only wear these once a year during Nurses Week back when I worked. I don't know if they do that still anymore, but it was a real pain because like to keep that thing on your head the whole time, I'm telling you, it was a hassle. There we go. Now I'm adding the hair. That is American Crafts yellow cardstock. And then I will pop up her feet. Now this is not realistic. No self-respecting nurse would walk around a hospital in bare feet. That would be the ultimate of disgusting. But I will say that it looks darn cute. So I'm adding the little feet just for fun. I'll have my other ones more professional with the shoes, but these ones I'm having bare feet because how cute is that? There we go. So that's that Paper Trank or P13 stamping pad skin tones. Then the beard on this one was cut from Paper Trank's dark chocolate that I edged in that same close to my heart white daisy ink. You could use any white pigment ink, it doesn't really matter. I will overlap the hat slightly with the nose because I just like the look of that. I'll do the same with the boy nurse. There we go. And I'll pop that down. And there we are. Isn't that cute? Okay, so next I'm going to put together the mask, cut out of Paper Trank white cardstock, and then that same nice teal paper from Doodlebug's Happy Healing 6-inch pad. There we go, I do weight it down. And then you can put it over any of your characters like that. So that is what it looks like. Do it on the boy gnome as well. It's fun, right? Okay, next we're going to put together the Kleenex. Cut out of Paper Trank white cardstock, Paper Trank or American Crafts black cardstock for the base, and then that pattern is from that same Happy Healing 6-inch pad. Now I've mentioned it in my other videos. We're kind of a medical family. I'm a retired nurse. My son is an RN. He works in adult mental health at our local hospital, and my daughter is actually a doctor in Alberta. She's in her, going into her 4th year of residency for internal medicine. Yeah, so my husband's an accountant, but everyone else in the family is kind of medical. So this is a perfect set for us. So I've got now a little pill I'm putting together, cut from American Crafts black cardstock for the base, and then Gingham linen Doodlebug cardstock for the pill. And I'm going to add a little highlight with my Sakura white jelly roll pen in a number 10. And then I do pop up the little hands. Remember, you don't have to use that base with the little hand placement because, you could use it separately on a card, which is lots of fun, right? You don't have to use them, being held by the gnome all the time. So they give you the option, and I think that's great. So there's a little doctor. Here's your big pill. And isn't that true sometimes? Some of those pills are ginormous. So this would be like you could add the little arms in, and then you could sort of place it so the pill is covering them. Do you see it looks a little more realistic? There we go. Next, we'll put together the little Band-Aid. So I cut that out of American Crafts black cardstock. It doesn't matter. It doesn't show. Whatever you want to use. And I'm using the dot grid daisy stripe in this fun grid and dot pattern, kind of the color of a Band-Aid. And I will pop up the hands with some Stampin' Up! Dimensionals. There we go. And there you have it. And isn't that cute? She's holding a Band-Aid for a big owie, right? Okay, next we're going to put together this little pill bottle. Cut it of the same colors. So I'm using American Crafts black cardstock for the base that doesn't really show. I'm using that same dot grid daisy stripe for I think that was candy stripe and sprinkles for the pill bottle from Doodlebug. I do layer it down on that piece that shows you where the hands go. I like to use that because it's easy for me to pop up the whole thing on the front of my card base, on the front of my gnome, but you could easily add the hands wherever you'd like and leave that part off. So I'm just popping them up with the miniature dimensionals from Stampin' Up. And then there's your nurse saying, here, take your pills. There we go. And I do add a little highlight to this one with my Sakura white jelly roll pen, because I think it adds a little something, something. Okay, now we have a little virus. So I cut that out of green, of course, and that's Doodlebug's dot stripe. And I added it onto an American Crafts black base, which doesn't show, like I always say. Use whatever you'd like. And then I'll pop up the little hands so they can hold the little virus in their hands. There we go, using the same P13 stamping pad skin tones for those and my reverse tweezers. There you are, and now you have a little germ. And he's like, here's your germ. Okay, next we have a little X-ray. So I cut that out of American Crafts black cardstock again for that, for the base layer. But next I cut it out of Simon Says Stamp black glossy cardstock. Then I'm going to add paper tray ink white cardstock for the little skeleton on top of it. So your x-ray is shiny like the old days. And then I'm going to add a little Pure Poppy heart from paper tray ink. Isn't that fun? And then I will add that to that base layer again with the hands. And isn't that fun? Just think it's super cute. And I do weight it down in between just to, you know, make sure everything sticks down nice and flat. And then I'm going to pop up the little hands with those Stampin' Up! Dimensionals again. And I just think this is one of my favorite ones. This is so darn cute. Isn't that sweet? Super cute. And I'll have the nurse saying, ooh, there's your x-ray. Or the doctor. Isn't that sweet? I just think it's adorable. There we go. And I've got the boy doctor holding it as well. Next, we have a medical bag. So this is a little bit old-fashioned. You really don't see doctors carrying these anymore. Even in my day, I think there was only one doctor that I ever saw carrying that when I worked in the 90s. So it's a little, but everyone knows what the quintessential doctor's bag looks like, right? So I first cut it out of American Crafts black cardstock. Then again, out of Simon Says Stamp black glossy cardstock. I'm going to add a little clip from that holographic cardstock from scrapbook.com. The handle is paper tray ink Pure Poppy. This little round emblem is paper tray ink white cardstock, and then that same Pure Poppy for the cross. And there is the adorable medical bag, right? Isn't that cute? And then I'm going to add it to that American Crafts base, just so I have a spot to put the hands, just to show you what they intended when they designed this product. There we go. Isn't that cute? And then I will pop up the hands with those Stampin' Up! Dimensionals again as well, just for fun. There we go. Isn't that sweet? And there's the little bag. We can have our doctor holding it. I will add a little highlight on this, just for fun, a little shine. When you're doing that on a shiny surface, you're going to want to let that dry off to the side for a bit before you touch it. There we go. And there's my girl doctor holding her bag. I'm the boy doctor. Isn't that fun? Okay, next we're going to put together the hypodermic needle. So I cut it out of that holographic mirror cardstock in silver first. Then this is gingham linen from Doodlebug in gray, and then in light gray, using the opposing patterns. So one is linen, one is gingham. There we go. Isn't that fun? And then I'll add that little piece. There we go. I'm going to add that on it. There we are. I'm not sure what that's supposed to represent. And our needles here in Canada that I used to have a black plunger, so it would be black, but it was designed, you know, it kind of was shown to us as red. So I cut it out of red just to, you know, keep things as straightforward as possible. But you can make that any color you'd like. So I'm layering that on my base so I can add my little hands. Again, using the miniature dimensionals from Stampin' Up! And I do weight it down. Now this is a little thermometer cut out of that same gingham linen again. Or actually, no, you know what? I used, I think I used gray. No, it is gingham linen. Sorry, it's hard to see in the small window when I'm doing this voiceover. Then I used Pure Poppy for the little push button. The tip is that silver mirror cardstock. And then the little digital window I cut out of smoky shadow cardstock from paper tray ink. And then I will put it down onto that base layer with the hands. There we go. Isn't that fun? And there we are. Now I'm going to pull out a Sakura white jelly roll pen in a number 8. So it's a little bit thinner. And I'm going to add a fever on this one. So I'm going to give this person 101 temperature, degrees Fahrenheit. Now, in Canada, we use Celsius. So I would have put like, say, 39 degrees. But I didn't want to mess with you guys because I know most people are from the US that watch my videos. I don't want to mix them up. In Canada, we kind of go both back and forth with temperature. So we kind of know it both ways, but we do, you know, in the hospitals, we always use Celsius. Okay, so there we go. And there is my little nurse holding a thermometer that says you've got a temperature. Okay, and I will pop up the hands on this hypodermic needle as well. And I'm just, making sure the thumbs are pointing in the right direction because that drives me crazy. That's another little Leanne crazy that I can't, what can you do? You can't take the crazy out of Leanne when I'm creating. Okay, so here we are, and this is all of the different images that I made. Remember, you can check out the Jaded Blossom store for all the separate pictures for the assembly. So thanks for stopping by, everybody, and get inspired by the Jaded Blossom blog and shop at the Jaded Blossom store. Bye.